Hi, I am Dr. Sai Prasad Reddy. Welcome to Software Testing course. We are going to discuss about two topics: quality assurance, that is called QA, and quality control, QC. So you will get questions in interview on these two topics. What is quality assurance? What is quality control? What are the differences between quality assurance and quality control? Right? Now, see, this quality assurance and quality control both are not the same. They are entirely different. Quality assurance, from here onwards, I will use the word QA, and for quality control, QC. QA and QC are not the same. The process of these two activities are entirely different. Mainly, the QA focus on the procedures, methodologies, or the methods or processes of the project, software project, like facilitations, documentation of that particular software project, the training requirements or the training need of the trainings for the team members, monitoring the software product, and audits. Audit means here every software project will undergo auditing. Again, there are two types of auditing. One is internal auditing, second one is external auditing. So, either it may be an internal auditing or it may be external auditing. During the auditing process of the software project, auditing team will look into the documentations, procedures, methods, or processes which they have followed for the development of the project. This is called auditing. And the QA activity ensures the process which are used to develop the software product. Mainly the QA process will focus and ensures on the process which is used to develop the software product. And whatever the processes or whatever the procedures that they have followed, whatever the methods that they have followed, so that the quality assurance will focus on these things. Ultimately, the main aim or the main goal of this QA activity is to improve the development as well as the testing process so that the defects do not occur during the development of the software product. See, that means if the team is following proper methods, procedures, then obviously there will be a less defects that will occur during the development of the software project. The quality assurance is involved during the early stage of the software development process. That is, in the software development process, the QA activities will involve during the early stage of the software development. And this quality assurance defines standards and methodologies to be followed in order to meet the client requirements or the client conditions or the client specifications. And quality assurance and quality control are not the same. The main goal of QA is to prevent the defect. So in interview they may ask you, explain about the quality assurance. Then you have to explain at least 4 to 5 points from this topic. The main focus, the main goal of QA is it will focus on the procedures, it will focus on the methods, it will focus on the standards, and it will focus on the facilitations, documentations, trainings, monitorings, and the audits of the software project in order to prevent the defects. So QA process will prevent the defects. That is an important point. And what about the QC? Quality control is a process in which software project quality is compared with respect to client requirements and specifications. That means whether the software project is meeting or satisfying the client requirements or not, whether this particular software project is satisfying client specifications or client conditions or not. That will taken care by the quality control activity. The main goal of the quality control activity is to identify the defects and to remove those defects. That is one of the main goals of the quality control. The main goal of the quality control is to identify the defects. After identifying the defects, and it will remove the defects. That means when these defects will be identified and when these defects will be removed during the software testing. That means quality control team finds these defects during the software testing. Right? And this quality control process or activity will be implemented during the execution phase of the software development. See, in the software development process, there are two phases. One is design phase, second one is execution phase. What do you mean by the design phase? During the design phase, that all the documents which are required for that particular software project will be designed. Execution phase, that means once the design phase is completed successfully, based on the documents which are designed during the design phase will be taken. By using those documents, the team will execute the software project. That is very important. So, software development process will have two phases. One is design phase, second one is execution phase. This is very important concept, even in the interview also. So one is design phase, second one is execution phase. So during the design phase, whatever the documents that are required, like business requirements, functional requirements, designs, high-level designs, and low-level designs, and unit test cases, integration test cases, test conditions, system test cases, system test conditions, system scenarios, user acceptance test cases, user acceptance conditions, test plan documentation, requirements traceability matrix, test summary report, defect reporting templates. Each and every document which is related to the particular software project will be designed during the design phase. Once the design phase is completed successfully, then execution phase will enter into picture. So during this execution phase, what they will do is the team will take those documents which are already designed during the design phase. They will take these documents. By following these documents, the software project will be executed. For what? In order to find the defects, in order to resolve the defects. Right? So, the quality control aims to identify and to resolve the defects in the finished product. Right? That means once the project development activity is completed, the quality control aims to identify those defects. After identifying the defects, they will resolve those defects. This is about quality control. And what are the differences between quality assurance and quality control? See, these are all the differences. QA process avoids the defects. QC process identifies the defects. After identifying, they will resolve the defects. This is the first difference. The difference between QA and QC. QA avoids the defects. QC identifies and resolves the defects. The next is QA is a proactive measure, whereas QC is a reactive measure. That is proactive means it will act. So in order to avoid the defects, right? And QA requires the involvement of all the stakeholders of that particular project. Stakeholders means those who are involving in that particular project. So QA process requires the involvement of all the stakeholders. That means involvement of all the team members who are working for that particular project. Whereas quality control needs only testing team. And QA does not involve executing the program, while QC always involves executing the program. That means during the QA process, there will be no execution of the program, there will be no execution of the functionalities, there will be no execution of any software project. But during the QC, the execution of the program or the execution of the functionality or the execution of the software project will happen. And QA is a preventive technique, whereas QC is a corrective technique. And QA defines the standards and the methodologies. QC confirms that the standards that are followed while working on the product. So that means QA process defines the standards, procedures, methodologies. Once the QA defines that the standards and methodologies or methods or the procedures or the processes, then QC team will confirm that these standards are followed while working on the product. Right? QA is a verification activity, whereas QC is validation activity. That we have already discussed about verification and validation in the earlier session. Right? In QA, again, during the QA process, whole team involved, whereas in the QC, only the testing team will involve. These are the major 8 differences between QA and QC. In interview, definitely they will ask you the question about the differences between QA and QC, or what do you mean by the QA and what do you mean by the QC. These 3 are the important questions. Definitely they will ask you in interview. What is quality assurance, or what is quality control? What are the differences between quality assurance and quality control? So if you explain these points about the QA and about the QC and the differences between QA and QC, there are 8 differences, major differences, 8 differences. So if you are able to explain these points, then it will be good. Right? Yeah. Please subscribe my channel, share my videos to all the students who are searching for the job in the IT industry, and like my videos. Don't hesitate to raise your comments in the comment box. Thank you.